The village of Pivdene, where we are right now, is split in half. This territory is controlled by the Ukrainian army, but the gray zone, which starts just behind the Pivdene mine, is territory controlled by the so-called DPR. At first glance, it looks deserted, but this is not the case. People live on both sides of the boundary line, but they cannot cross it.
I usually bring bits of wood and don't go anywhere else.
Granny Katya is 92, and she lives in the part of Pivdene controlled by the Ukrainian army. Her family and seriously ill son live nearby in the territory controlled by the militants in Hromadske. This is almost a 2-kilometer journey, but she is not able to get there. You can't get to town from here?
Oh no, I can't get there. Who will let me go there? If they let me, maybe I could go. I don't have a permit. Here is the checkpoint. I went up to the guys and said, "Boys, you're one of us. I'm not a criminal."
It's the same in the Ukrainian-controlled territory. Residents of Pivdene that have ended up in the gray zone cannot get to the Ukrainian-controlled territory. There are none of the basic necessities, hospitals, shops, or schools. Almost 180 people live here. The soldiers have only allowed half of them to cross the blockade here in Pivdene. For the rest, the road is only open in one direction, into the so-called DPR. These so-called closed points are situated along the demarcation line. It's the front line where the positions of Ukrainian soldiers are located. In between them is the airport sector where military action took place in 2014-2015. The conflict center has now shifted, but access is still blocked even for the locals. Pisky is also closed off. In 2014-2015, locals were not able to take the bodies of people that died in the shelling. They just buried them in the courtyards. Ludmila is an IDP from Pisky. She now lives in Hromadske, but dreams of going back home. This is not possible at the moment. To come here, residents have to get a pass from the soldiers every time. They often deny this request. While the residents are not able to go back to their homes, there are strange things happening in Pisky. Someone has opened up the flats and the property from inside has disappeared. Ludmila's neighbor, who works the police, detained a truck from the 128th Brigade carrying metal gates which were removed from private buildings and garages. Earlier, soldiers from the 93rd Brigade were also caught. Criminal cases were started.
I come here on my bike. They have taken metal gates from all our neighbors. I can't get my gates back because they're being held in the District Department of Internal Affairs as evidence.
We know that such cases have happened, and they have been quite active at practically all points of contact. There are no 100% perfect people. It is clear that in any unit there are scumbags that allow themselves to behave like that. At the start of the military action, visitations to the housing estates were limited because there were a lot of civilian victims. The front line, like any front line, should be closed to the civilian population. In order to facilitate access for the residents to visit their homes, the local authorities have promised numerous times to set up civil-military administrations. The Donetsk Regional Administration appealed to the administration of the President of Ukraine to set up a civil-military administration in several villages in eastern Ukraine, according to a response from the Donetsk Regional Administration to one of the humanitarian organizations. However, the head of the Donetsk Civil-Military Administration, Pavlo Zhebrivsky, seems to have changed his mind.
Now, there are 11 people living in Pisky, and in fact, they live like one family with the soldiers. At the moment, in my opinion, there is no point in spending money on introducing a civil-military administration in Pisky. Our authorities can't come to Pisky and tell people to their faces that they won't have buses, electricity, gas, and that no one plans to create a civil-military administration there.
People continue to hope that the officials are listening, otherwise they will be prepared to take more drastic action. People warn that if there is no solution, they will come here to the checkpoint, to Pisky, without permission.
Самовольно, если их не пустят.